Round 3. Fight!
The title does not deceive. Today you join me on my third installment of me trying to take on the malevolent many of the Monster Manual. If you've not seen my previous two ventures, then click on the link in the card somewhere to see when I first endeavoured to conquer this tome, to get a full rundown of the rules set. Today I'm going to get straight into it, so last time I was level 7, now I'm level 11 to fight the beasties of challenge rating 12 and lower. As a basic rundown of what I'm working with: Glamour Bard, more health, Flame Tongue, these spells of 6th level or lower. But just before we get started, I was looking at the creatures in this range and thought, there's a lot less of them here. Last time there was 73 creatures, and this time only 31, less than half. 31 creatures won't take long at all. Let's not waste any more time, let's fight
The Monster Manual.
Clothing of a champion. I saw one person actually compliment the costume. Thank you. The vest I made myself, and everything else I made myself, so thank you. All the professional cosplayers going, yeah, I can tell you made it yourself, lol. Shut up. First up, Fae, Ooze, and Undead have no creatures in this range. I must admit, I was surprised with Undead, because it seems like there's so many different kinds of spoopy boys, but not so much with oozes though. There's only so many flavours of jelly. I mean, they ran out of ideas for oozes so quickly, they put black pudding in oozes. If black pudding's a type of jelly, then I'm a fucking salad. Then we have humanoids, plants, and celestials only have one in their category. So, let's start this fight with a treant. This feels bad. I love treants. They're such a fun concept to me, especially when they have all the character of someone like Treebeard. But as to whether I'd win, he hits pretty hard, but if I employ my usual strategy of using mobile, greater invisibility, and my flaming sword, you're going down. How do you pronounce that? Is that Diva?
Deva.
Okay, I'm gonna call you Dave. Looking at this stat block, what does it have? I mean, yes, it has like mad stats, but it has spells and abilities and stuff, but they just buff other people. While that is true, it's incredibly fast, it can fly, and hit me with what looks to be a Buckingham Palace banister that hits like a fucking truck. My only secret weapon against it is maybe Hold Monster, but it's never going to fail that save, so dead. I do want to see a Celestial that is called Diva, though.
Time to save the world?
An Archmage. The King of the Nerds versus the Manual Sweeping Bard. Well, I now have Counterspell to counter your spells. Hold Person and Greater Invisibility. Oh wait, you have 9th level spells, so that's to upcast spells into insta-kill damage, and you have Detect Magic to find an Invisible Minstrel, and you have Banishment, Flight, Invulnerability, and at will invisibility. And to top it off, they can stop time. Maybe you can stop time, but me? Bitch, I can turn back time. I can beat an archmage. I can already see this being very hard. Let's move on to constructs. Only 2 to fight. A clay golem. Slow, low AC, and not immune to fire. Can't see an invisible bard. And take a look at my new ultimate weapon. Otto's Irresistible Dance. A creature just starts dancing in place and they must use their action to attempt a wisdom saving throw to stop dancing. And guess who has terrible wisdom? A stone golem. If I use range to be away from that slowing magic, it has no speed advantage. And even less when the stone golem is rocking out. Giants. Again, only 2 big boys, itty bitty boys. A giant cloud. Oh wait. Sorry, a cloud giant. Haven't faced one of them since Gary hotboxed me in college. It could catch me with that speed. Hold Monster or Irresistible Chance, your choice, buddy. It could smash me into the dirt. If it could see me, it's got spells that I can counter. Yeah, I can totally handle this guy at this level. It would be slower than trying to eat soup with a pair of chopsticks, but I reckon I could still do it.
A fire giant.
Very high AC and can hit like a serial pickup artist. But it's slow, has no magic, and would definitely lose to my spells, so get jigging, Ginge.
Aberrations.
This category is a bit more bulky with 3 creatures.
An aboleth.
Okay, so aboleths are horrific because of their victim warping tentacles, psyche consumption, and enslaving powers. But you're on dry land now, dipshit. It could use its action to move 20 feet, whilst I use any spell with a range further than 30 feet and absolutely destroy it. And just to put the nail in the coffin, I'm a half-elf. I mean, I'm a half-elf, so I'm resistant to charms, and you're not, so... Also, 10 points to anyone in the comments who can tell me how an aboleth dances. A grey slard. In the last video I said I'd ruin the red, blue and green slards. But now, we're dealing with the ultimate slards. And you know what? They still suck as hard as a horny Henry Hoover. Let's face it, slards are all the same. They just have more hit points than AC. Throw the death slard in here too, it doesn't matter. Both these guys can't catch me, and they can't resist the power of my spells forever. I may not succeed against the entire Monster Manual, but in all the magic and powers of this game, I pride myself that these trans-dimensional horrors losing against a guy who went to college to play Wonderwall. Now, let's look at the most terrifying barbershop quartet with the 4 Jinn in the elemental category. And to be expedient, let me answer them all at once. Fuck no! All 4 of these guys can move faster than a croissant through my bowels after the first sip of the accompanying coffee. They have spells and abilities that can wreck my shit harder than a stick of dynamite in a sewer. And just when I think I've hit rock bottom hits back. Earth in spades, blowing winds, and hurling flame. Do you remember?
The 21st night of September.
Dragons.
Guys, I hate to do this again, but dragons are not one-on-one enemies. They are so hard to hit, have bloated health, great stats, insane speed, and incredible damage. I'm not winning against any of them, okay? So instead, I'm just gonna sit here and rip on how they look. Red dragon, honey, you look fantastic. But why are the ends of your wings burned? You are immune to fire, you live in a volcano. But look, its wings are burnt! They could be torn in 1,000 ways, but burnt? And it is burnt. Look, they're blackened with ash. Artists, don't get me wrong, it looks fantastic. But are the fire dragon's wings flammable? Gold dragon, how do you fly? Look at those wings. They have surface area, but they definitely couldn't lift you if you flap, especially with how heavy the whole of your body is. Also, you got some ramen on your face. Silver dragons are the best dragons. Fight me. Blue dragons are brutal and vain, and have the most ridiculous horn imaginable. I'm genuinely passionate about this. This is my only way to vent. A creature with a horn uses it to hurt its enemies. That horn is a bony pyramid. Look at a rhino. Look at its horn, the curvature, its height. It's thin enough to puncture. And let's not forget, what use does a flying creature have with a sharp implement on its head between its eyes? You are an evolutionary mistake. You are blue and you live in a desert. You freak! I feel better now. Okay. Now we're on to fiends. They're pretty brutal in this range. So let's get into it. A yoklol. What is this? Why does it look like a melted piss-scented candle? Regardless. Get held, get dancing, get Yankees, get hideous laughter, yoklol. A bone devil. Bone devil? I mean, it's thin and white, but they don't call Steve Tyler a bone human. So why do they call you a... Oh no. Oh no. No. Let me get my lube first.
A Nikoloth.
This absolute unit can teleport 60 feet every round and rip me open like a Christmas present. Nope.
A Glabrazu.
This thing has power word stun. I'm done. I don't have 150 hit points. Dead. But just know this. Your name is fucking hilarious. A horned devil. A ranged attack. A wounding tail. A pointy fork. That's cool. I have a lute and a sword that you're immune to. I'm ready to make that deal with Big Daddy Asmodeus now, please. An Arcanoloth. Counterspell. Fireball. Chain lightning. Suggestion. And finger of death. An Erinyes. High AC, parrying, lots of health, fast flight, high damage, immunities, and resistances. Protect me! And finally, we have monsters. Come on, let's finish on a high note. 6 whole monsters to slay? Bring it on!
An abominable bulliabus yeti.
A normal yeti, I kicked the butt off before, but this guy has a DC 18 chilling gaze that can freeze me to pour himself a glass of whiskey on the bards. A guardian naga. Greater invisibility? True seeing. Me moving? Whole person. Charms? Immune to charm. I need a parental guardian right now.
A Gynosphinx.
Now, those that know these creatures know that these guys belong in their lair. Because inside their lair, they're basically a god. But outside their lair, still terrifying. All I have is this.
A Remoraz.
I can hold it, I can make it dance, but I can't hurt it. And I still don't know what a remoraz is. A rock. I assume you mean the big bird. So I'll just be invisible, wait for it to land, and just hit it. I mean, how big is it anyway?
A Behir. The last creature. This lizard of giants. You're fast. You're deadly. But I have something that you can't be there for. You've used your most powerful attack. But my HP? It's perfect. Now, let's do this.
Boom! And with that, we're officially halfway through fighting this big old book. So, let's have a look. How did I do? Don't mind those rounding errors and, you know, technical difficulties and stuff. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, and if so, I will level myself up to take on CR 13 to 16 creatures on my way to fighting
The entire Monster Manual.
Thank you for watching. If you made it this far, please subscribe and share this video around. It really helps. And let me know in the comments if you think any of my decisions were obviously incorrect. Click the video on screen to see the previous video in what I hope to be a full series. I fought CR 5 to 8 and I managed to secure a few more wins in that one. And more losses.